Affordable housing advocates are calling on the Ford government to apply rent control measures on all units in the province. And joining us to talk more about the issues around the lack of rent control is Marcia Stone, the co-chair of the Weston chapter of ACORN. Marcia, thank you so much for being with us here today. I'm wondering, when it comes to this organization here, what role are you playing in calling for these measures?
Well, thank you, Faiza, for having me. My name is Marcia Stone, and I am chair of the Weston chapter. We are celebrating our 20th year of ACORN being in Canada, so yay, ACORN. And what ACORN is a community union of low and moderate income people fighting for social and economic justice, as well as other things that affect the low to moderate income people. We're 170,000 across Canada, and we organize, we outreach, and we have tenant meetings. So we organize folks in their building. They come to us and let us know the landlord's not doing their job, and so then we go out and rally whatever we need to do to help them. So with regard to the situation, we're fighting for rent control. We're fighting for rent eviction bylaws. We're fighting for dem eviction bylaws. And so because Doug Ford removed rent control from all new bills after 2018, that means that it creates incentives for developers and landlords to demolish existing places, buildings, and then replace them with luxury rental units. And we call those dem evictions. The stock is deteriorating as it is, so we have to be out there and be the voice for our membership. And the funny thing is that rent control does not apply to vacant units. And this is called vacancy decontrol. And what we say that is that when a tenant moves out, there's no limit on how much the landlord can jack up the rent. So you're seeing double or triple in some cases in some of these buildings, and it's financially insensitizing the landlords. And they use these means, rent evictions, dem evictions, and neglect repairs, specifically neglecting repairs in units, and hoping to force people out. And that is, that's the stress level that a lot of folks in Ontario, renters in Ontario, are facing. And so we're always trying to find ways to apply pressure, knowing that we have a lot of new bills coming in.
I was going to ask about that because, we oftentimes talk about the lack of affordable housing here in Toronto and the challenge having to do with that. How does that conversation change when, you look around and you see the number of new condos getting built here?
So the law says anything within 800 meters of a major transit hub is going to have those condos. And again, they're not affordable. The problem is that there's too many definitions. The word affordable housing is being thrown around like, thank you, please, It's just a common word. And everybody's latching on to that affordable housing crisis to move forward their own agendas. So a lot of these places that they're building now, who's going to be living in them? A lot of those young people that are moving in there are not going to be able to afford to live there. So what's the sense and the purpose? Instead of using those units for folks that really and desperately need them, they're using all these avenues. They're using rent evictions, dem evictions. They're using above guideline increases to get people out so they can make more money off the backs of us folks. And what our membership has said, we've had enough. Enough is enough. We're not putting up with this anymore, and we want something done. So it's on us as members and as normal, everyday people that are the resources of this province to stand up and fight for ourselves because there's nobody else out there doing it for us. So anytime that we can challenge some of the provincial laws and bills that they've been using against tenants, then we definitely stand up and speak out. We have to do what we have to do.
You mentioned bills, Bill 185. How does that impact renovictions and demevictions and landlords ignoring requests for repairs?
So Bill 184 makes it easier for landlords to demevict and renovict because it limits the tenant's legal defenses. So a lot of the legal clinics had been cut. They were cut when Dougie came into play, which again is another piece of tenants' rights that is being taken away from us, right? It's being taken away from us. So it's sad to see. It really and truly is very, very sad to see. And when you hear the human side and the stories from the folks, which it seems like there's a lot of politicians that don't want to put a face to the number, or to understand and have any empathy for what folks are actually going through every single day.
Have you had conversations with any members or any members of Doug Ford's party? Have you been able to have conversations at that level or with anyone in the federal government?
So we've attempted to have a few meetings with Premier Ford's office. We offered him an invitation. Michael Ford is the MP in my area. And again, we've tried to get in to have a meeting with these folks. Ahmed Hussein, who's our federal rep, we can never get a meeting with these people because, again, if they meet with us, the feeling is that then now they have to put a face to the numbers, right? We do try to put forward. We had a lobby day just recently with a nonpartisan group of MPPs to talk about the ACORN demands and how we can get the provincial group to move our items forward, make them become a law, and put it in writing. So now these folks are going to be held accountable in some way, shape, or form. Bill 23 is another one that restricts tenants' defensive powers, because again, they cut the legal clinics. They're overrun right now with the above guideline increases that all these landlords seem to be filing, and there's nothing out there to protect the tenants. That's why we are door knocking. We are outreaching. Other groups are doing the same. And we're crying for the provincial government to stand up and look after their Ontarians that are the resources of the province.
Well, it's certainly a big conversation here in Toronto, but especially across the GTA as well. So, Marcia Stone, thank you so much for taking the time to come here and speak with us today. We really appreciate it.
And I just wanted to make another point. Our Hamilton ACORN group has just won a renovictions and demevictions bylaw that holds landlords accountable. They can't do anything without having a license or documents before they can go ahead and do it. So that's a big win for ACORN and Hamilton. And any province that we win something in, we bring it to City Hall to make sure that they go through the bylaws and look at implementing these very things. That is a step towards helping folks. The Ontarians deserve and should have better. Politicians don't take into play that this is a reality that, again, the human resources that run the province are living every single day. And so you might want to consider that, because folks can, we could shut down the city,
Well, we thank you for coming here, visiting us, and taking the time to speak with us on this extremely important topic. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Faiza.